At this moment, the Milky Way is moving through space, not merely rotating, not simply orbiting within a larger structure. Our entire galaxy, along with countless neighboring galaxies, is being pulled toward a region of the universe hidden from our view. Astronomers call it the Great Attractor. For decades, scientists could detect its influence without being able to see clearly what was causing it. Something beyond the Milky Way appeared to be drawing galaxies toward it across hundreds of millions of light years. But what exactly is pulling us, and where is it taking us? To understand the mystery, we first need to abandon the idea that galaxies remain still. Earth orbits the Sun orbits the center of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way itself travels through the universe alongside other galaxies in our local neighborhood. Some of that motion comes from the expansion of space. On the largest scales, distant galaxies generally move away from one another as the universe expands. But astronomers noticed that nearby galaxies were not moving exactly as expected. After accounting for cosmic expansion, the Milky Way and many surrounding galaxies still appeared to be drifting in one particular direction. Something was disturbing the pattern. Galaxies were being pulled toward the constellations Centaurus and Norma. The effect was immense. It suggested that an enormous concentration of mass existed somewhere beyond our immediate galactic neighborhood. Yet when astronomers looked in that direction, they encountered a problem. The suspected source lay behind the plane of the Milky Way. From Earth, this part of the sky is crowded with stars, gas, and thick clouds of interstellar dust. Visible light from distant galaxies struggles to pass through it. Astronomers call this obscured region the zone of avoidance. It was as though the universe had placed a curtain directly between us and whatever was pulling our galaxy. For years, scientists could measure the motion, but the source remained hidden. That mystery gave rise to an unforgettable name, the Great Attractor. The name makes it sound like a single colossal object, perhaps an unimaginably large black hole, or some unknown structure lurking beyond the Milky Way. But the truth is more complicated. The Great Attractor is not thought to be one object. It is a broad region containing enormous concentrations of matter, including groups and clusters of galaxies. One of its most important known features is the Norma cluster, also called Abell 3627. The cluster lies roughly 200 million light-years away and contains hundreds of galaxies bound together by gravity. Because visible light was blocked by the Milky Way, observations at other wavelengths, including X-rays, helped reveal just how massive this hidden region really was. But even the Norma cluster could not explain everything. The motions of galaxies suggested that gravity was operating across an even larger landscape. Beyond the Great Attractor lies another enormous concentration called the Shapley Supercluster. It is farther away and contains thousands of galaxies. Some astronomers believe its gravity also contributes to the movement observed throughout our region of the universe. In other words, the Milky Way may not be traveling toward one final destination. It is moving through a vast network of gravitational currents created by matter spread across the cosmic web. In 2014, astronomers produced a new map by studying the motions of thousands of nearby galaxies. Instead of defining cosmic regions only by where galaxies appeared, they followed the directions in which those galaxies were flowing. The result revealed a gigantic structure containing the Milky Way and roughly 100,000 neighboring galaxies. They named it Laniakea, a Hawaiian name often translated as immense heaven. Laniakea spans more than 500 million light-years. Within it, galaxies move along invisible gravitational pathways, flowing inward like water traveling through a river system. Those streams converge toward the region associated with the Great Attractor. This means the Milky Way is not isolated. Our galaxy is one tiny part of an immense basin of attraction. The local group, which contains the Milky Way, Andromeda, and dozens of smaller galaxies, is traveling within this much larger structure. But that does not mean we will eventually crash into the Great Attractor. The universe continues to expand. On sufficiently large scales, that expansion can overcome gravity and separate structures from one another. Scientists also continue to debate exactly where the boundaries of superclusters should be drawn and how much influence more distant concentrations of matter have on our motion. The Great Attractor, therefore, remains mysterious, but not because it is supernatural. Its mystery comes from scale. Human beings evolved on one planet orbiting one star, yet our entire galaxy is moving within a structure so large that even light would require hundreds of millions of years to cross it. We can detect that motion only by studying subtle differences in the speed and direction of distant galaxies. The Great Attractor was once an invisible force, inferred almost entirely through its effects. Today, astronomers understand far more about the galaxy clusters and cosmic structures hidden in that direction, but no single object has emerged as the complete answer. Instead, we have discovered something stranger. The universe is shaped by a vast web of matter. Galaxies gather into clusters, clusters form larger structures, and those structures create gravitational rivers carrying entire galaxies through space. Somewhere beyond the dust of the Milky Way, those rivers flow toward a region we once could not see, a region powerful enough to influence the path of our entire galaxy. The Great Attractor is not waiting to consume us. It is something far larger and more subtle, a sign that even the Milky Way is merely drifting within forces almost beyond human comprehension. Subscribe to Delta Archives for more journeys into the greatest mysteries of space, history, and the unexplained.